Hello and welcome back to Manifold Mind. Like, share, and subscribe for more stories. The ceremony of selection every 50 years, the Valari Dominion held the rite of ascension. Royal bloodlines from 12 allied systems gathered in the celestial hall beneath the floating capital of Aerith, Prime. At the center of the hall stood the sovereign scanner, an ancient crystalline construct older than recorded Valari history. It did not measure wealth. It did not measure power. It measured resonance. The individual whose biological and energetic signature perfectly aligned with the ruling bloodline would become the chosen consort of the reigning heir. This cycle's heir stood tall and unshaken beside the scanner, Princess Seraphina Velaris, war-trained, politically brilliant, emotionally guarded, and absolutely uninterested in marriage until duty demanded it. One by one, royal candidates stepped forward. The scanner glowed softly for each. Green, compatible but unstable. Blue, viable but politically inefficient. Yellow, genetically strong, energetically misaligned. None triggered the ascendant mark. Murmurs spread. Then the final candidate approached, not royal, not noble, not even Valari, human, the human guest. His name was Adrian Hale, former Special Operations Officer turned interspecies security advisor. He wasn't even supposed to be in the ceremony. He had escorted an Earth delegation ambassador and ended up standing near the back wall. But when the scanner completed its last royal scan, it didn't power down. Instead, it emitted a sharp rising frequency and turned toward him. The entire hall went silent. Adrian looked over his shoulder. Someone behind me. There wasn't. The scanner projected a beam of pure white light onto his chest. The display above flickered, processing, then froze. A single designation appeared across the crystalline surface in ancient Valari script, Apex Alpha. The chamber erupted. Impossible designation. Error. Shouted one high counselor. Recalibrate immediately. But the scanner did not reset. It deepened in luminosity. Princess Seraphina stepped forward, golden eyes locked onto the human. Define Apex Alpha, she commanded. The construct's harmonic voice echoed across the hall. Biological prime. Tactical superiority. Dominant protective resonance. Perfect sovereign complement. The council went pale. Apex Alpha was not simply compatibility. It was a once-in-millennia classification. Reserved for myth. Reserved for the ideal ruler's equal. And it had chosen a human. Seraphina approached him slowly. You did not tamper with this system? Adrian raised his hand slightly. I fix engines, not ancient destiny lasers. A faint twitch pulled at the corner of her mouth despite the tension. You understand what this means? Not really. It means, she said evenly, that the galaxy believes you belong beside me. The challenge, the Valari elite were not pleased. A human cannot stand equal to Valari royalty. His lifespan is inferior. His physiology is primitive. Adrian tilted his head slightly. Primitive? Seraphina did not defend him verbally. Instead, she issued a trial decree. If the scanner names him Apex Alpha, he will undergo the sovereign trials. Gasps rippled outward. The trials were brutal. Strategic combat simulations, mental resilience chambers, energy synchronization gauntlets. Most royal candidates failed before the second phase. Adrian exhaled slowly. Princess, he said quietly, you don't owe me anything. I can step away. Her golden gaze sharpened. The scanner did not hesitate. She stepped closer. I will not either. The Trials Phase 1, Combat Adaptation. Velari warriors were faster, stronger, and bio-enhanced. Adrian did not overpower. He analyzed, redirected, used momentum. By the final round, he wasn't just surviving, he was predicting. Phase 2, Neural Pressure Chamber. Velari telepathic waves simulated fear, loss, isolation. Candidates usually collapsed within minutes. Adrian remained steady. Memories surfaced. Hard ones, battlefields, fallen comrades. But instead of fracturing, he anchored. Serafina watched from the observation chamber. His mind did not break. It reinforced. Phase 3, Resonance Alignment. He stepped into the energy lattice opposite her. Their palms hovered inches apart. Golden Velari light met human bioelectric current. The chamber shook. The scanner pulsed violently. And then stabilized. Perfectly. The outcome silence filled the hall. The High Council bowed. Not to the princess. To both of them. Serafina faced Adrian privately afterward in the royal garden suspended above Aerith Prime. You are not intimidated, she observed. You glow when you're annoyed, he replied calmly. Her eyes widened slightly. You noticed? You tighten your jaw. A small, dangerous smile curved her lips. You were tested. So were you. She stepped closer. I expected resistance, and I discovered equilibrium. He studied her carefully. Is this duty? She shook her head once. No. Her voice softened. It is choice. War at the gates, not everyone accepted the outcome. A rival Velari faction attempted a coup, claiming the throne had been compromised. Warships breached outer orbit. Serafina prepared for battle. Adrian stood at her side in command armor tailored to his frame. You're not obligated to fight Velari politics, she said quietly. He secured his gauntlet. I don't fight politics. He met her gaze. I protect what's mine. Her breath hitched slightly. The battle was swift. Adrian coordinated defense formations with ruthless efficiency. Velari commanders began adapting his human tactical unpredictability into their strategy. The coup failed within hours. When the final enemy ship retreated, Serafina turned toward him on the command deck. Apex Alpha, she murmured softly. Don't let it go to my head. It is already engraved in history. The air peace followed. Real peace. Velari and human alliances strengthened beyond expectation. Months later, Serafina stood before the same scanner that had chosen him. Its light flickered warmly. Adrian approached behind her. You look serious. There is change, she said quietly. He placed a hand at her waist instinctively. She guided it lower. There, a faint hum. Velari pregnancies were rare. Hybrid ones unheard of. Our child, he whispered. Yes. His breath caught. You're okay? Her golden eyes softened. I am stronger than I have ever been. He leaned his forehead against hers. Guess Apex Alpha's job just upgraded. She laughed softly. Yes. The birth of a sovereign, the palace chamber radiated gold as Serafina labored. Velari births manifested in waves of concentrated light. She gripped Adrian's hand fiercely. You may complain, he told her gently. I command star systems, she growled. And right now, she exhaled sharply, right now. I command you to stay. He didn't move. When their sun emerged, the scanner in the hall activated on its own. Golden light pulsed through the capital. The child had her luminous eyes. his steady heartbeat. When he opened them, the scanner projected a second title above the palace, Sovereign Ascendant. Serafina held their son carefully. "He carries both fire and anchor," she whispered. Adrian kissed her temple. Like his mother, 1 year Laterareth Prime flourished, trade expanded, conflict decreased. Valari culture evolved. Strength was no longer defined solely by lineage but by resonance. In the royal gardens, their son, Keller, toddled unsteadily across glowing stone pathways. Tiny sparks flickered around his hands when he laughed. Serafina knelt in regal robes, arms open. "Advance," she instructed gently. Adrian crouched nearby. "He's not leading an army yet." Keller stumbled straight into his father's chest instead. Adrian lifted him high. Serafina approached, golden eyes warm. "They said the scanner malfunctioned." "It didn't," Adrian replied. "They said a human could not stand beside a Valari sovereign. And—" She stepped close, resting her forehead against his. They were unprepared for the outcome. The scanner had passed every royal candidate, then frozen on the human, and in doing so, redefined a dynasty, an apex alpha, a Valari queen, and a child destined not by blood alone, but by balance.